Hello everyone, this is Hakaym and welcome back to another episode of Funday Sunday. And oh boy, we have a good game for you guys today. Let's see, we are playing on Trident, playing Epicenter. We have a Richelieu, Bismarck, Leon, Nagato, Bayern, Cleveland, Bajoni, Benson, Akazuki, Mosf, and two Fubukis. On the enemy team, there is a Richelieu, Bismarck, Leon, Gneisenau, Atlanta, Cleveland, Nuremberg, Kagero, Loyang, Akatsuki, and two Fubuki and a Fushan. And I am joined with Ian and No Game. Ian is in the Benson and No Game is in the Akazuki. And I don't want to spoil this, but this game is actually really good. So I'm in the Tier 8 French battleship. I think I'm actually still working on getting the upgrades. I don't recall if I have her fully upgraded. But it's a ship that has promise. That much can be said. So major thing in this battle is the fact that there's a lot of destroyers. There's actually 5 destroyers on each side versus few battleships and very minimal amount of cruisers. Not a lot of cruisers. Actually, the enemy team does have more cruisers than we do. Nuremberg is spotted. And I will have to say, one thing I've noticed about the Richelieu is even against a Nuremberg, most times I'll get overpens and not really citadels. Now, it can be argued on whether or not it's just due to the fact the dispersion sends it up a little bit higher and just goes through the thinner armor. But as we're pushing in, do you notice there's actually a cruiser right behind us? Is the friendly, I believe it's Chapayev? Pretty certain it's Chapayev. That's currently right behind us. Kind of keep an eye on him and what's about to happen. So I do slow up and taking my time because I don't really want to force around that corner because, as you can see, there's actually was a destroyer. Really, this Bajani. This Bajani sets us aflame, and I'm still targeted by 2. I have HE incoming, so I don't really want to use my damage control. Yes, can you guess what's going to happen? Keep in mind, the Bajoni actually set us on fire. That's his fire that's burning right now. And what happens when the fire goes on for so long that, yes, Bajoni player actually starts taking damage. Once again, I didn't want to, use my damage control, and he goes ahead and tries to TK me, causing even more damage to him. Go ahead and use my damage control because that is a flooding. Probably should have just used that flooding to finish off this friendly Bajoni because, yeah, he's not being particularly friendly. So did lose some amount of health from that, and our team's not doing the best right now. The enemy destroyers are maintaining control in the center quite heavily, and I just now realized for whatever reason we actually have a destroyer way over there. It looks like the Fubuki, but he's currently dealing with a enemy destroyer. Nuremberg is back up, and just keep an eye on this Nuremberg. This is just funny what happens to him. Oh. Yeah, you gotta love teammates. Just gotta love teammates. So, No Game, I should actually mention, let's actually talk about No Game. He's a fantastic battleship player. He is our battleship player whenever we do clan wars. And Fubuki actually friendly torps the Bajani. So, anyways, No Game is actually our battleship player. For the longest time, he's not really done anything else besides battleships. And recently, he's actually just started going up through the destroyer line, and he does have the Akazuki. And can I say, for a battleship player, he's quite scary. I think our very first battle I've had with him in a destroyer, he got Kraken Unleashed, took no damage, something like that, and did like just a substantial amount of damage. So, yeah, once again, really good, even a good destroyer player apparently. Now there is Akatsuki. I am concerned that he might come around the corner, but I think he's concerned about other ships. So definitely want to be careful because at the moment the enemy team is ahead in number of ships, just by a little bit by one ship. And once again, let's see how our shots go towards this Nürnberg. Yeah, I don't know exactly why, but for whatever reason, we just keep getting overpens, but eventually it does go down. But our destroyers are having a much more difficult time at the moment. Now, the Bismarck on the enemy team is starting to push around the corner. Keep an eye on this Bismarck. This Bismarck, he's going to play an important role later in this battle. Now, the enemy team has secured the center cap, which is not particularly good. But there's not really much we can deal with. We have to at least kind of prevent them from continually pushing. And of course, we don't really get the kill on that Cleveland. Overpens again. Yeah, kind of a common theme with the Richelieu against light cruisers is you just get overpens. So, alright, Bismarck is kind of off by himself. He does have some friendly destroyers, but he's been firing his guns. That the smoke screen that they've laid down isn't really providing that much cover. So he should be an easy target. He is kind of by himself. He's being focused down by cruisers and destroyers, and poor No Game is experiencing the trauma of the Bismarck secondaries. Now, there is Atlanta on the team, and Atlanta is a serious major threat to our destroyers, as well as the fact there is also a Lo Yang. Now, this Bismarck, as I have mentioned, is actually going to survive this. He's going to be able to get out of sight and able to heal. So he is going to be back. And keep in mind, he's extraordinarily low in health. But at the moment, my main concern is going to be those destroyers. There is, once again, a Lo Yang in that center of the cap. And Lo Yang has hydroacoustics, which makes it extraordinarily dangerous against enemy destroyers, or friendly destroyers for that matter. But main focus right now is going to be this Spooky, and we at least got the kill. That is good. That's one less destroyer we have to worry about. And at the moment, the teams are very, very close to each other. The enemy team still has one ship ahead of ours, and this Bismarck is still alive, but he actually disappears, which is highly unfortunate because this is going to come back and bite us in the butt. That much is true. Alright, so we are currently being spotted. I believe there is the enemy Fushun up northwest of us. And I am trying to be careful. I've got to be careful because there could be a possibility of torpedoes coming in from the Lo Yang, so I am taking my time kind of going around this corner, but we have to do something. The enemy team is almost 500, almost 300 points ahead of us, and we keep losing ships, so we need to do something right this instance. And my clanmates are starting to push in, starting to hopefully take out this Lo Yang. Now, fortunately, Lo Yang's hydro is down, so he's not able to spot any destroyers that might be pushing in. But obviously, he is aware of the Nagato that's coming in. Because the Nagato just got hammered by the enemy Leon's HE. Yay for HE spamming battleships. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of that. Lo Yang's finally spotted, and slight overkill there. Didn't really need to actually fire, but at least we were able to take out the enemy Lo Yang, and now able to finally push around. But keep in mind, there's still about 6 ships on the enemy team versus 4 ships on our team, and our Nagato is just pushing in quite heavily, and things aren't going to be working out for him. Atlanta finally pops up. Does look like he's actually starting to slow down, so I do aim a little bit further back and finally get a citadel. Finally. Now enemy Richelieu is pushing in, and I am actually very concerned that he might be trying to ram. Now I probably should have continued going forward, but at the same time there's also destroyers around, and I really want to kill off this Atlanta. There we go. Did almost no damage to that Richelieu. Kind of a waste of a salvo there. Probably should have fired at that Leon. Because whatever reason that Richelieu instead of going for a ram, which I think he should have done, he went ahead and grounded himself, which allowed No Game's torpedoes to actually land on target. And once again, I probably should have been shooting at someone else. There we go. No Game gets the kill on the Richelieu, and at this time, there's still 2 destroyers on the enemy team. There's a Kagero, and where's that Fushun? Oh, lo and behold, there he is. Yep, I'm pretty much screwed. And keep in mind, there is essentially it was three ships versus 6. Now it's 2 ships versus 4. 2 to 1, and it is essentially destroyers. Now, No Game has actually taken very minimal amount of damage. Lord has taken a little bit more. We'll say that at least. Now, good thing is the enemy destroyers are officially dead. Bad news is that is a Bismarck with Hydro, and also Atlanta with radar. And unfortunately for Lord, he gets hit pretty hard, but he's still alive and kicking. Now, No Game is in a actually really good position because he has almost all of his health. He's gonna be able to at least take some amount of damage. That's to be certain, but fortunately we're not able to cap the center, and there is still about 8 minutes left on the timer, so we still have time to possibly pull back, because one good thing about destroyers is that they do counter battleships quite heavily indeed. So things aren't looking the greatest. Major threat to our team right now is going to be the Atlanta. Now, fortunately, Atlanta is actually very low in health, and should be able to be taken out if in a proper position. Now, No Game has gotten to a position where he can at least shoot from behind the island, but unfortunately, No Game was the one actually spotting the Leon. So unfortunately, he's not able to get any damage. Now, Lord's going to try to swing back around and head on north to at least try to spot. But the enemy team is doing a really good job capturing. They still hold the center, and that is not good for us because we are at a huge deficit. And at this point, the only way we could even begin to capture the center is if we take out the ships that are in the middle. Now, fortunately, that Leon has actually taken a torpedo and is flooding, so he's actually losing a huge chunk of his health. But the Atlanta is now in pursuit mode, and this is one good thing about the Akazuki. She's actually a really good gunboat. The Atlanta, yes, can wipe out an enemy destroyer, but at range, it has much more difficulty actually doing that, which gives the Akazuki a slightly better chance at actually doing fairly substantial amount of damage while staying alive. And as you can see, No Game has actually taken off a decent chunk of health against this Atlanta, and he's playing the good destroyer, kiting away, and now is going to focus down the Atlanta. Now, Akazuki does run 100mm guns, but with IFHE, well, as you can see against this Atlanta, he's going down rather quickly. And there we go. Our team has actually taken out the Atlanta, which was the most major threat to our destroyers. And this Bismarck is actually being extraordinarily elusive for Lord. He's actually having a very difficult time actually getting those torpedoes to land. And keep in mind, the Benson torpedoes are pretty decent. So if they can at least get some torpedoes on them and cause either a flood or after that cause a fire, they should be able to at least cause more damage. But at the moment, the enemy team is still in control of this map. They are almost 400 points ahead of us. So things are going to get a little bit tense. There's still about 5 minutes left on this map, which is going to give us a little bit of time, but things are starting to run out. So we have to make a power play. Both of the battleships are low in health, but keep in mind battleships do have a heal, and that can be really devastating if you're trying to whittle down a battleship with destroyer caliber guns. So the only way they're actually going to be able to win this is if they get a flood or if they get a fire. Now the Akazuki, I really do like the Akazuki. Akazuki is a good ship. Has only one set of torpedo tubes. It does have the torpedo booster, reload booster, which is beneficial, but unfortunately this Bismarck must have like ESP or something, because he just manages to dodge any incoming torpedoes quite easily, which is slightly aggravating. Now at the moment, Ian's being a good little destroyer captain, but unfortunately for him, he's going to get a little bit too close to the Leon. Now Benson has really good detect, but unfortunately for Lord, he strayed definitely far too close to this Leon and is going to possibly mean his doom. And oh god, can Lord survive this? Look at all the secondaries, especially incoming from that Bismarck, and down goes Lord. Torpedoes are away on both the Bismarck and the Leon. If Lord can get a flooding on that Leon, he can easily cause it, the Leon to use his damage control, and it does look like that's the case. So now it's no game versus two battleships, and the Leon has used its damage control. So if we can get a fire on him, we could possibly completely kill off this Leon, and then it'll be 1 versus 1. But fortunately for us, that Bismarck is actually going around this island in the center of the map, so he's not really able to support the Leon captain at all. So No Game is trying to get as close as he can, but the Leon's actually a fast battleship, and the Akazuki is actually a slow destroyer. So at the time, No Game is currently experiencing the issue that the Leon's just at the very edge of his range, and his shots are just falling short of this Leon, that he can't actually get them to land. He's trying his very best. Looks like he might just now be coming in range at the moment. Yes, he's actually getting some hits on. If he can get a fire on that Leon, that will take him out. It's going to be close because the Leon has had time to get his damage control back off cooldown, but I think with his final salvo, he actually gets a fire on that Leon, and that might be the end of that Leon. But where is that Bismarck? That Bismarck is currently not seen, which probably does mean that he is sitting behind that island. Leon is on fire and is starting to whittle down, and No Game goes ahead and opens up, try to finish him off, try to prevent him from getting a damage control up, as well as a heal. So at the moment, can No Game get this kill? Incoming shots from a Leon, but there we go. No Game gets the kill on the Leon. Now where is the enemy Bismarck? There's only a minute and a half left in this match, and there's a Bismarck. Looks like the Bismarck has taken a torpedo as well as possible flooding damage, and overpins. Yes, nice. Now this Bismarck is extraordinarily low in health, but he does have good secondaries. But the good thing about the Akazuki is the fact that she has very fast firing guns, and even though they are 100 mils, this AP is chewing up this Bismarck, and this Bismarck is going to go down. So we are able to pull a victory from the jaws of defeat, and very good job to my clanmates. They carry this game for us, and we actually win this. So high props to you guys, and this is actually going to be it for this episode of Funday Sunday. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked what you saw, hit the like and subscribe button. You guys have a great and fantastic day. Zaijian.